Alright, we're back in another day of fun with my motor here. So I worked on this for a little while the other night, wasted a bunch of time. I like wasting time playing with my motors. So gives me something to do for my winter vacation, otherwise known as the holidays. So spent a lot of time trying to figure out stuff on this motor. I'm not sure how we're going to do all this, but it's a mess. And this tripod's not going to work for showing a damn thing. I guess we're stuck holding. Basically, I mocked up the cylinders more flatter. I got it even on the base right here by having a drill bit stuck in here, the same height as the dowel. So I'm a little bit taller than I need to be, but it's close enough for what I need for mock up. We have the Ultima 140 Evo cases on here right now. So I got the heads all leveled out. I went up and got some push rod covers. I got the S&S shovel head lifter block conversion kit off that motor there. I stole it. Don't tell him. And then I brought down some nice Evo blocks that I mocked up with that for a while. So I got that in the back hole right now. So there's the Evo block. There's the shovel head block. The problem I run into is the push rod angle is pretty steeply going downhill. And I got it back with no spacer in the block here, the cases. So we're going to have to trim this away and weld metal in here to get room for these bolt holes. There's nothing to go to right now. So I have to weld a big boss right here, and I have to trim the block away and trim the case away until I just get them to go in there. So this is the lowest you can possibly get the motor. And you can see the push rod angle goes down pretty far down. And so yeah, it is what it is on that. Now the Evo lifters, they're more of a flat angle. See how they don't really drop very much? Whereas the shovel head block, see how it drops a lot further? So the shovel head block actually works better on this application than the Evo block over here does. So so I found that out. So I don't want to run the small diameter shovel head lifters in here. I want the Evo diameter, so that means I got to buy S&S lifter blocks, which are not cheap. No. So yeah, we got to determine what we're going to do on this. So I don't have $1 million to spend on this project, so we're pretty much coming to the end for a while and buying parts. Because every time I want to do something, it's a $1,000 bill. I want a set of cases, $1,000. I need another crank to go play with. There's 3 different ones I can use. They're $1,000 a pop, $1,200. Yeah. Let's just go get 3 or 4 of those. We'll try them out. I need a custom connecting rod for the motor. That's going to be, $1,000, $1,200. Who knows? Every time I turn around, it's another $1,000 bill. So that ain't going to be happening. All right. So right now I am determining what I want to do on the cam, the cases, and all that. So the Sportster cases are laying over here. So I still want to do a 4-cam motor, but the problem is we had lifter block spread distance differences between the iron head case and the rubber mounted Evo turd case. Man, this thing's heavy. So, too much crap in the way around here. So, this basically is about 2 3/16 space between those, I think is what it was, or 2 1/4, 2.2, something like that. And these are like 1 3/4, I recall. They're a lot narrower. So, when you look at that over here, the push rod, instead of being twisted like this, see, twin cam would be straight up and down. M8 I think is straight up and down. Evo is at an angle like that, and in 4-cam is flat. So these motors are made to be flat. So obviously a 4-cam motor is going to put these in the right spot for that application. Now the other thing you look at is, if you notice where the crank center line is to the push rod center line. See, if you look at where the cam is, they're offset. So this is an offset cam. So that is different. Now if this did not have an offset cam in here, it would help us. It would move it over, things will line up a lot better. But we don't have that. So now if you go over here to your motor over here, let's say the center of your motor on the Sportster should be right here. You can see the difference between here and over here is your offset on your lifter block. When you come over here to a Sportster, you see how that's way over here. So that's over 4 fingers to the center. So here's our center point. 4 fingers means the cams are over here. And if you look at that, see now they're too far over. This needs something a little bit closer. But it's a lot better that way because they're going to be more straight. So it's better, but it's too far. And we showed that in mock-up before a little bit. And this lifter is about in the same spot, whether it's on the iron head motor down here or whether it's on the Evo motor up top here. So the other difference is that this is an off center cam, just like that one is. This is an on center cam. So that means these cams are supposed to be straight down on center. See the roller comes up more centered. Now you can see it plainly, it's not exactly center, it's off just a little bit, about that far, but that's pretty close. So these are basically on center cams. They're only offset maybe 50 thou. I don't know if that's obvious to you or not, but it's slightly skewed in. So both of those rollers are slightly this way. But when you look at the ones down here, they're a lot further off. That roller's way over here. It's way over here, it's offset further, but it's hard to pull all this crap up. These things are fucking heavy. So we're going to scale that or something here. Use this. So you look at this one, you see how that block is not centered. Center would be where it goes equal like this. So you can see that we're off. See how we're over the edge here, so that's that far. So it's half of that's your offset. So that's at least that's 150 thou almost offset. At least 1/8 of an inch off minimum. So that's off a lot further than the one down here. This one's only about 30 thou over. This one's over 130 at least. So these take different cams. Now last night I spent a lot of time looking into cams, engine modeling on the computer. So I have an engine modeling program that I can go in there and put all kinds of different parameters for the motor is. And I found a camshaft that makes best power. I found a turbocharger that works the best. I might turbo it. Then we got exhaust pipe sizing, lengths, and stuff like that. I did all the calculations and came up with some numbers that kind of work. So I was working a lot on that. So I'll be back.